Hi, everybody. Hello, thank you for coming. Appreciate everybody being here. I think we're just about ready to get started. My name is Sam, and I head up product marketing for OKX Wallet. For those of you that aren't familiar with OKX, I'm hoping that today's session is going to give you a little bit of an intro into what we're building, build a little bit of familiarity with some of the products that we've created, and hopefully you'll all take away something new about what we're doing on the Web3 side in particular. If you are familiar with OKX, you might have noticed that we rebranded recently, and we're now positioning ourselves as a new alternative. And what we really mean by this is kind of up to you to interpret. We view it as a new alternative to the crypto status quo. So you may or may not be aware that OKX is actually the second largest crypto exchange in the world by volume. We're brand new here in Australia. Some of our team are at the back here. And if you do have a chance, come over to our booth over the weekend and say hello. We'd love to get to know you a little bit better. So today's presentation is actually going to be about the on-chain future. And I'll explain a little bit more in a moment about why I'm talking about things that are on-chain when actually I'm standing here representing a centralized exchange. Might seem a little bit strange. But I'll start off just by giving you a little bit of intro to OKX, and then we'll talk through a few of the things that we're doing on the decentralized side. OKX has been around since 2012. We have 15 offices around the world, most recently regulated out of Dubai. And in May this year, we became regulated in Australia. So we have a licensed exchange here in Australia. We have a team. And if you want to do spot trading, you can do that using the OKX app. And there's a lot more to come over the coming weeks, months, and years. Our app has been downloaded over 50 million times. And this is just focusing on the centralized side. And we're really proud of the fact that every month for the past 24 months, for the past 2 years, we've published our proof of reserves. What does proof of reserves mean? It means that we publicly on the blockchain display that all of the assets that we hold are backed at least one-to-one. And you can actually go in if you have an OKX account and check, look at your own account and check that your assets are backed one-to-one by OKX. So compliance, proof of reserves is something we take extremely seriously, working really closely with the regulators here in Australia to evolve our product offerings for you guys in Australia. This is some of the team in Australia. I said we launched in May. We're really proud to be here. Actually, it's worth mentioning that our ties with Australia go quite deep. If you don't use our exchange, let me just talk about this first. Since we got started in May, we've 3x the size of our customer base, right? It's a humble start, but we're really ambitious and we're looking to grow fast. Our team size has grown by 150%. And actually already we've been awarded a number of awards in Australia, including Best Crypto Exchange or Exchange of the Year by WeMoney earlier this year. If you don't know our exchange, you might know these guys. So we are a premium partner for McLaren F1 racing team. Oscar Piastri, obviously, local boy, homegrown hero. The guys are over in Las Vegas this weekend with a lot of our team. Wish them all the best of luck to win. For the first time in a long time, McLaren are competing for the Constructors' Championship. Why do we sponsor McLaren F1 team? It's to get the word out there, right? It's a multi-year partnership. We've been working closely with the team for a number of years. They're very open-minded to collaborating with us on marketing and other stuff. Same goes for Scotty James. You guys might be familiar with him. Four-time Olympian, Olympic flag bearer at the the Winter Olympics for Australia. He's one of our brand ambassadors. Normally at this point, I would show a third slide. We sponsor Manchester City. We're the sleeve sponsor for Man City. Not going to show that slide today. I'm a Man United supporter, and I'd rather not talk about it. Self-custody is the future. Okay, that's the title of today's presentation. Isn't that ironic? Why is a centralized exchange that generates its revenue from custodial experiences and fees on the centralized exchange talking about self-custody as being the future? Well, it's not just me who's saying that. Starzu is the CEO and founder of OKX. He's been around for a long time in crypto. He founded the company in 2012. If you look at his Twitter bio, it says, "Crypto will eat the world. Self-custody is the future." This is ironic, right? he makes all of his money, all of his revenue from a centralized exchange. So let's dig into why he's saying that. And I think really, to understand it, you need to look at the way that our product is evolving. So in the middle, you have the kind of full-blown, all the bells and whistles, centralized custodial crypto exchange. Depending on which jurisdiction you're operating in, you'll be able to trade any of around about 350 to 400 different cryptos. And then there's obviously a whole bunch of other experiences that you can participate in. Might be staking, own products, might be derivatives, futures, options, depending on your jurisdiction. On the left-hand side, we have a more simple version. This is basically for newbies, people who want to get into crypto. And then on the right-hand side, which is what we're going to talk about today, we have the Web3 wallet, which is fully self-custodial. If we cast our minds back to 2021, okay, and this is when we really started thinking at OKX very seriously about self-custody. Bitcoin was at an all-time high. I think ETH was at around about $4,800. And what we were seeing is that new experiences were emerging on new blockchains. So at that point, it was really Ethereum. And we were seeing a lot of decentralized applications being built, a really strong core builder community on Ethereum. So people were building DEXs, people were building DeFi protocols, people were building games, people were building a lot more. And at the same time, we were seeing retail users wanting to participate in these experiences. But that was difficult. It was difficult for a number of reasons. If you wanted to bridge your assets to, for example, Ethereum, you might have had some Bitcoin, you wanted to bridge that to Ethereum. It was risky. You know, often there was an escrow involved. It was expensive. And it was really a bad user experience overall. Secondly, in terms of custody of your assets, you had to entrust your assets to the custody of a centralized exchange for the most part. And obviously, there are a number of high-profile cases of where this really went wrong. So at this point, we decided, okay, let's really commit to Web3, to self-custody. And we're kind of viewing 2021 as the birth of Web3. If we fast forward to today, this is what we're seeing in terms of on-chain data, okay? This snapshot was taken the day before yesterday. It shows DEX to centralized exchange trading volume ratios. At the beginning of the year, it was around about 8%. Today, it's 8% DEX, 92% centralized exchange. Today, it's around about 14%. By the end of the year, I would guess it's going to be 16, 17%, right? So the market is moving on-chain. Secondly, we're seeing innovation on multiple chains. I talked about Ethereum back in 2021. If we look at the beginning of this year, this shows Solana versus Ethereum on-chain trading volumes on DEXs. November 2023, Solana was at around about 5-6%. This week, it's at 200% plus versus Ethereum. Okay, so a lot of money moving through Solana, obviously driven by the meme coin craze at the moment. If we take a look a little bit closer at what people are actually trading, and to me this is crazy. Last week, 300,000 new tokens became available on decentralized exchanges. 275,000 of those tokens are Solana tokens, 20,000 are on Base, and the rest are on other chains, including Ethereum. Okay, so in terms of new on-chain trading opportunities, all through Solana, and we're seeing obviously things like meme launchers being launched on Pump.fun on Solana. You got similar ones on Sui, on Tron. Yeah, it's evolving quite quickly. So if you open the OKX app on mobile or on desktop, this is what you'll see. You have the choice of creating a centralized exchange account. If you do that, depending on which market you're in, there'll be some form of KYC you need to go through. Or you can swipe right, and you can create a decentralized wallet. And for the next kind of 10 minutes or so, I want to show you a little bit more about it. I head up marketing for the Web3 wallet, so I'm biased. But my point of view is it's actually one of the best kept secrets in crypto, because the power of what we've created here is really, really significant. Okay, so it looks something like this, the wallet. You'll be quite familiar with this kind of view if you're already using the OKX exchange. It supports, it says 1 million tokens here. It supports millions of tokens. We add 120,000 new tokens to the app every week. It's completely free to use. We don't charge any fee for anything that you do using the wallet. Of course, we plug into providers such as DEXs or such as NFT marketplaces where there may be a fee. We don't lay anything on top of it. And you can basically discover any asset on here. So if you want to trade Solana meme coins, you can find them here. Paste the contract address, you'll find it. We support 100 different blockchains. Most recently, we integrated the Ton blockchain around about 3 weeks ago. And all of the 100 top networks in the world are supported on OKX Wallet. And I really do mean every major network. So top 20 by TVL, Bitcoin, you can create a Taproot wallet, a native SegWit wallet, depending on if you want to do ordinals or Bitcoin trading. ERC20 and EVM compatible tokens and blockchains, everything on Cosmos, and then some of the kind of standalone blockchains such as Ton that I just mentioned. Casper, I know there are a lot of Casper fanboys and crew here today. And then when you take a closer look at the product, it looks something like this. So you'll open up the wallet and go straight into the markets page. On the markets page, I mentioned that there are 120,000 new tokens added every week, right? What we do is we aggregate. So we pull in from, I think it's plus 400, it might be plus 500 by now. Let's say 500 different decentralized exchanges. We pull in, connected via APIs, to get you the best price we can find and the best swap you can find. So what we try to do to help our users kind of decide which of those 120,000 new tokens that launch every week they might want to buy is that we have this kind of an experience. So if you use something like DEX Screener or GMGN, you'll be quite familiar with this. The technology that lies behind it is extremely complex. This is real-time data analysis of every new token that's launched on the market that we can possibly find. Okay? So I'll just talk through this a little bit. Along the bottom, you can see real-time transactions. So as soon as any wallet address, I think this is Peanut the Squirrel, right, which got launched a couple of weeks ago. Any wallet address that buys Peanut on chain, you'll see that transaction real time. You can see liquidity flows and liquidity changes kind of aggregated, so you can get an overview of whether of how things are moving. You can look at sniper addresses. So snipers are wallets that buy a token at the very first block or as near to the very first block as possible after it's launched. And you want to be able to see whether those wallets have dumped or whether they're still holding. You can see an overview of those addresses for that token. If we look over on the right-hand side, we do some audits. I'll show you a little bit more about this in a minute, but basically proactive security monitoring to show you things like, is this token a honeypot? Is the smart contract modifiable? Are there any malicious domains attached to this smart contract? There's hundreds and hundreds of proactive risks that we show you basically to help you do your own research, right? Yeah, this is an example here, actually, of what you can see. So you search for a token like Jupiter's token, and then you'll be on the assessment page, you'll be shown an overview of our view of how risky we believe this token to be. If you see all green ticks, probably pretty good to go. If you see anything red, you're going to want to take a closer look at exactly what's going on there. Just last week, we launched 4 distinct trading modes within the wallet. And this is because what we're observing is that we've got very different types of users trading on chain. We have big ticket users who are doing things like arbitrage. You have people who are brand new to crypto who've maybe been shared the contract address of a meme coin that their friend sent them. And then we've got people who are trading quite consistently. So on the left here, we've got easy mode. This is for the person who just got sent a contract address by their friend and wants to buy a meme coin for the first time. As simple as possible. And a big thing that we're really focusing on is basically Web 2 UX for Web 3 experiences. Make it as easy as for people as possible to participate. Next, number 2 here is meme mode. So if you trade meme tokens using a wallet like Phantom, there's a number of them about. There's some cool features that a lot of these wallets provide. Stuff like being able to have preset amounts of SOL that you trade. 0.5, 1, 2.5. And then advanced mode, this shows you in a bit more detail things like what are the trading routes that we're doing your swap through. So I mentioned 500 decentralized exchanges that we route through. You can actually choose which one you trade using. So it might be that you have good experience with a certain DEX, or you don't trust another DEX for some reason, or whatever it might be, you can actually choose your route to a certain extent. Last one on the right, and for me, this is actually the best use case. Like if you use OKX Wallet for one thing tomorrow, I think it's this, bridging. I mentioned at the beginning, like moving assets from one chain to another. It's typically quite risky, right? And if you're entering a completely new ecosystem, you're probably just going to end up Googling, I want to enter Tron. How do I get my ETH into Tron? You'll Google, you'll be shown some results. You know nothing about the platform that you're about to use, okay? What we do in the wallet is that we pull in trusted bridging providers that we've assessed and integrated with, and we'll provide you with routes for bridging. So in this example, the user wants to bridge some Solana to Ethereum. If you look down at the bottom, I don't know if you can see, but there's a little green kind of rectangle. You click on that, you'll be shown all of the different routes that you can choose from. And those routes can be based on the best price available, the maximum amount, or speed if you just want to do it really quickly. For any NFT people out there, we also have a marketplace in the wallet. Obviously, the market is a little bit up and down, but this is something that we're really committed to. So within the wallet, you can access marketplace, hold your NFTs, and then you can access marketplaces. I think we integrate with 38 different marketplaces. So if you want to trade NFTs on ETH, on Solana, on any of those networks, you can also do that within here. One area that we're really committed to is the mother chain, Bitcoin. And obviously, there's kind of quite a fragmented communities within the Bitcoin ecosystem. You've got the maxis, you've got the laser eyes. We're just really committed to innovating on Bitcoin. So if you want to trade runes, ordinals, BRC20, fractal, anything Bitcoin, you can also do that within the OKX wallet. You can create separate addresses for Taproot, for Segwit. It's all there. I mentioned at the beginning that we're really seeing like innovation on multiple blockchains. You know, one of the most recent blockchains that we're really seeing popping is Sui. There's a number of them. What we want to do is give our users a safe way to access new experiences on these chains as they emerge. So there's a Discover section in the wallet, which is basically your gateway to dApps on DeFi. This example shows you Solana, this kind of Solana portal. You can go in there, you can see what events are happening on Solana. You can see some of the biggest dApps like Jupiter, Camino, other lending protocols, other trading protocols. And you can basically, we've kind of vetted the projects that are listed in here so you can access them from a secure environment. Speaking of security, obviously that's something we take very, very seriously. It's a self-custodial wallet. You can create multiple wallets, you can create multiple accounts. The seed phrase, the private keys belong to you. God forbid, should the worst happen to OKX at some point in the future, the assets that you hold on in this wallet will always belong to you. We're regularly audited by security partners. So earlier this year, Certic, I think is probably the leading security audit firm in Web3, ranked our wallet as #1 for cybersecurity. So what does the future hold? Well, I think what we're seeing at OKX actually is that CeFi and DeFi worlds are going to come a little bit closer together. Today, if a user of our centralized exchange searches for an asset that hasn't been listed on the exchange, so any of the kind of 350 to 400 assets, they search for an asset that hasn't been listed, they'll get a negative search result. And end of customer journey, end of experience, that user's going to go somewhere else and try and find that asset. In the future, in the near future, I think what you're going to see is actually you'll get a positive search result, and there'll be a more seamless experience so that you can go through and buy it on a decentralized exchange. And that's something we're really working hard on at the moment. So I think what we're trying to build out is kind of a Web3 financial super app or super center for retail users. Let me talk a little bit more about what that really means. So first of all, smart account. There's multiple definitions of smart account. What we really mean here is making it as easy as possible for people to onboard in a secure way. And this is something that we're doing a lot of work on. So it can be things like social login. It can be things like cloud backup. There's a number of things that go into this, right? But basically, kind of Web 2 experiences for onboarding, so that people don't feel like they're making this big step into the on-chain world. Smart account features. So we're looking at, I mean, already here in Australia, we have on-ramp rails for Australian dollars into crypto. But we're looking at more ways for users to be able to on-ramp. We're building out a payments product and a card product, which will be available in certain jurisdictions to begin with, probably looking at kind of Q1, Q2 of next year. And then bots. So if you use OKX in some markets currently, we have quite advanced trading bots for smart trading, automated trading, copy trading, all those kind of things. This is an area we're investing a lot of time in from a product point of view, and we're going to really see evolving over the next few months. And then finally is looking at new ways in terms of infrastructure, leveraging ZK KYC, again, making it easier for users to create accounts, to sign up in secure and compliant ways. Closer to home, we're holding a party tonight. Yeah. Please do come along. Check out our Twitter page, OKX Wallet. The handle is @wallet, and you'll find a link to the party. If you don't know what Ordinals are are basically NFTs, but built on the Bitcoin network. Okay, so our hypothesis, and people who are involved with Ordinals, our hypothesis is that obviously the overwhelming majority of liquidity still exists on the mother chain. People are finding new ways to build out experiences on Bitcoin, be they NFTs, L2s and staking is a really big thing this year. We're really bullish on this. So market might be down a little bit for Ordinals at the moment. We're really positive about what's going to be happening over the next year or so. So if you want to come and learn a bit more about it, please do. We have a creator program in case anybody is into Ordinals, where we are basically sponsoring some of the best NFT creators on Bitcoin to basically live out their creative dreams. So if you want to come and learn more about that, please do come along. In terms of Australia and what's going to be happening in the local market, I can't talk too much about what we're looking at from a product perspective because we're new here and we're still building this out and we're working really closely with regulators. But please do come and talk to our team. We have a booth just around the corner here. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to get to know you. We're here for the long run. This is just the beginning and really excited to be in Australia. I guess last thing, this is obviously a bit of a product show and tell. I hope you guys learn a little bit about everything that we're doing on the Web3 wallet side. If you do one thing today with OKX, please swipe right and try our wallet and let us know what you think. It's very, very simple to create a wallet, and I hope you're going to have a bit of a kind of eye-opening experience when you can see what we've built in there. That's the end of the session. Big thank you to everybody who joined. I don't think we've got time for Q&A, but if anybody wants to come and ask me questions, please do. I'll be hanging around at the back. And thanks so much for listening. Really appreciate it. Thank you.